Hi everybody, this is Father Moki coming to you from Good Shepherd Episcopal Church here in Wailuku, Maui. Today is Thursday, January 27th, 2022, and this is Chicken Chat, where I am joined by Makani and Travolta and back here, Marcelino, but you can't really see him very well. Maybe we'll put him over here. Then he can be seen. Behind me, you will see that the Queen Emma Gym is going full force. People are there lifting weights, and it's open and available to our community, for which we are very grateful. This week, we have a number of birthdays between today and February 2nd. Erminia de la Cruz, Shirley Evangelista, Angeline Quaresma, Sharon Daniels, Suanne Hill, Pearson Cahigal Evans, and Brigitta Domingo. She comes to our Saturday service very faithfully. We have no anniversaries to mark today, but we do have death anniversaries to remember between today and February 2nd. Liberty Aglupos on January 27th, Sozante Domingo, January 29th, William Betts, February 1st, Victor Cahigal, February 2nd. Now we'd like to take a moment to remember everyone on our pastoral care prayer list. So let us pray.
Amy, Barbara, Bill, Blandina, Catalina, Charmaine, Charlesta, Chris, Cynthia, Cora S., David, Dixie L., Dolores, Donna, Elmer, Epi, Eric, Ernesto, Filomeno, Fred, Jacinta, Jim, Heidi S., Joseph, Joyce, Juanita, Judy, Kaili, Kevin, Christy, Leilani, Lucille, Lynn, Maggie, Marilyn, Maisie, Melanie, Nelson, Nick, Paul, Paula, Paulino, Peter P., Phil, Pilar, Randall, Samantha, Sana, Sonia, Shirley, Sparky, Tomo, Trip, Wendy, Gabby, Suzanne, Paige, Sunbeam, Dan.
Most holy and gracious God, we commend to you all those on our pastoral care prayer list. Surround them with the power of your love. Give them an awareness of your presence, and may the power of your love and an awareness of your presence heal body, mind, and spirit. Amen. Thank you very, very much, everyone. The Bible verse for January, which is on this beautiful Christmas card that we've sent out, is from 2 Corinthians. This means that anyone who belongs to Christ has become a new person. This means that anyone who belongs to Christ has become a new person. May we all be new people, and may we be renewed every day through the presence of Christ in our lives. The annual meeting, I'm looking here, it says will be held, but the annual meeting was held on January 23rd. Last week, Sunday, we had to hold it via Zoom. A number of people attended, and the energy was just positive, positive, positive. Every one of you should have gotten an annual meeting packet, and in that packet is my report, which was written out, and also the financials for the year ending 2021, as well as the balanced budget for 2022, all of which were accepted and adopted. Want to thank everyone who has served on the vestry, and especially those who are leaving the vestry. That's Maureen Vandenberg and Shelley Riebling. We have added Sharon Daniels and Auntie Jeannie Abe to the vestry, and Chancellor Brown was reelected for a full term after filling the term of Michelle Akana. The recap of the past week. I was on vacation last week on the mainland, as many of you know, and then for the past 2 days, I have been in Honolulu because Dixie and I got married on Monday evening at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Nu'uanu. So those of you who have heard mutterings about that, the rumors are true. We are now Mr. and Mrs. Dixie Kaetsu. So thank you very much, everybody. And we look forward to the Sunday when we can gather back in person again and greet all of you as husband and wife. We are anticipating that will be February 6th. Let's see. Yes, all in-person worship is canceled through the month of January. So that was last weekend and this weekend, just to play it safe. We know the numbers are going down, but we want to play it safe. And so we are anticipating opening up again on February 6th and look forward to having you all join us at that time. I was here on Saturday evening at 5, and a couple of people did show up and we gave them Holy Communion, and then Sunday again came with Dixie, and we sat out here in case anybody showed up, and they did, and we sat and visited. I gave them Holy Communion. But the wonderful thing about you folks is nobody balked, nobody criticized, nobody complained. They just said, thank you very much for the communion, we understand, and off they went. It was really, really, really heartening to experience that. You are all invited to watch the virtual service on Sunday, and that will be considered your attendance in church. If you are willing to donate $150 to purchase a kneeler for the sanctuary, please let the office know. We're getting very, very close to having all those commitments. And if you see me turning around a lot, it's to check on Blake. He's out here wandering and sniffing around in the yard. I've been bringing him to church with me because he's lonesome because his brother died, as you know. This past week, the Ka'ohana kitchen was handled by the Brown Ohana. So that's this coming week. I believe last week was Ka'ohana o Kamai. So anyway, thank you very much to the Brown Ohana for being here this Sunday. A Cup of Cold Water is making runs again. They really, really need blankets, you guys. So please, if you have any new or gently used lightweight blankets, they could really use those. And of course, they need a grant writer, run leaders, supply room workers, and a donation coordinator. And as you can see behind me, the Queen Emma Athletic Club is going very, very strong. As far as our regular offerings for the week, Sunday at 7 a.m., please tune in for the virtual worship on Facebook Live or YouTube. We will not be having services in person in church. This weekend, I will not be here to greet those who didn't get the word because my mother, who is under hospice care, as you know, asked me if I would please come home for the weekend to visit with her. So Dixie and I will be going on Saturday, and we'll be back on Monday morning, I believe. Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Tuesday, we continue with centering prayer at 4 o'clock on Zoom. Wednesday, we continue with men's Bible study at 7 o'clock in the morning on Zoom. Wednesday at 12 noon, we have our Anglican Rosary on Facebook Live, and Thursday, we have our women's Bible study via Zoom. All right, quite an extensive list. For the saints this week, you'll have to forgive me because I did not prepare in advance for this. Where did that little brown Vanna's gonna, oh no, he's right here. Good boy, Blake. We don't want you running away. Fortunately, Blake is, come here. Everybody wants to see you. He's the kind of dog who doesn't really wander very much. He likes to stay close to his uncle, so that's a good thing. All right, for our saints, We have Marcella of Rome, monastic and scholar who died in 410. She is known primarily for her role in the founding of monasticism, because after her husband died, she commenced a life of abstinence, and many other women in Rome followed suit. That's all I'm going to say about Marcella of Rome. John Bosco is a priest. He died in 1888. He was born Giovanni Melchiorre Bosco, also called Don Bosco. He was an Italian Catholic priest and educator, and he put into practice the dogma of his religion, employing teaching methods based on love rather than punishment. Excellent. I think that's the way it should be. Although, I was not the most patient teacher on the planet, just so you know, but I don't think I did too much damage. Okay, then there's Samuel Schumacher, a priest and evangelist who died in 1963. He was an Episcopal priest who was instrumental in the Oxford movement and the founding principles of Alcoholics Anonymous. Yes, Alcoholics Anonymous, the 12 steps were, they consulted two Episcopal priests in the development of the 12 steps, and the Oxford movement, or the Oxford group, in case you don't know, for a while the Anglican and Episcopal Church were kind of going a different route, a little bit more austere, and the Oxford movement was a group of people who wanted to bring in a more Catholic worship style back into the liturgy, and so they were responsible for that. So that's Samuel Schumacher. Then we have St. Bridget of Kildare, an abbess. She died on February 1st in 523. She was Welsh. Her father was a court poet to the king, and at an early age she decided to become a Christian, and then she eventually took the vows of a nun, and then established a nunnery at Kildare, which means the Church of the Oak. Now you have to bear in mind that 523 there weren't a lot of Christians around, especially in the British Isles. So we remember St. Bridget of Kildare. Then we have Ansgar, bishop and missionary to Denmark and Sweden. He died in 865. Let's see. The King of Denmark asked for missionaries, and Ansgar led a group to Denmark, and a few years later to Switzerland. He did this at the request of the King of Denmark, and ran into some difficulties because the politics in that area were a little bit unsettled at that time, and so he went to Germany and became the Archbishop of Hamburg, and then he went to Sweden and consecrated the first bishop of Sweden, and so the Church of Sweden honors him as an apostle because he consecrated the first bishop of Sweden. The Dorchester chaplains. We remember these guys from last year. They were chaplains from different faiths who they were killed on a boat where they were serving as chaplains, and they actually helped other soldiers on the boat and gave them their own life jackets, and as a result they were in the water and died of hypothermia. There is no gift greater than one who lays down his life for his friends. So that is the Dorchester chaplains. I remember last year we played Mansions of the Lord for you in honor of the Dorchester chaplains. Then we have Cornelius the centurion. Now this guy, I know very well because I was ordained on the feast day of Cornelius the Centurion, which is February the 4th. So February the 4th, which I think is next week Friday, I will have been a priest 16 years. That's so long that I am now number 5 on the seniority list in the Diocese of Hawaii. So Cornelius comes from the book of Acts, and you know, when the sheet came down and had all the what were considered unclean foods on it, he was told that which God has made clean you cannot call unclean. And so anyway, cool guy. Then we have Manche Masaloma. Manche Masamola, who was a martyr in 1928 in Africa, South Africa, and she was part of an Anglican community, and relations between the traditional African healers and those who were Anglican, because they were considered under the influence of the British, ensued. And on February 4th, her parents led a teenager to a lonely place where they killed her. I guess she was in conflict with her parents. I have, we'll flash up a picture, hopefully, of Manche Masamola. Her statue is on the doorway of Westminster Abbey, along with people like Dietrich Bonhoeffer, Martin Luther King, Oscar Romero. Very, very sad story. So now, everyone, for the chickens of the week. All right, so I was going to name the chickens of the week Dixie and Moki, because they were out there in front of Building A on our commercial properties, and they were fighting. And you know, I don't like fighting on the premises, but I think the chickens were showing us, you know, this is what your married life is going to be like, you know, get ready, prepare, and all this kind of stuff. And then I thought, no, we can't name them Dixie and Moki because there were 2 roosters. And the last time I checked, Dixie and I were a rooster and a hen. So we don't want to have, we don't want to do that. So instead, we're going to call the fighting chickens. They look like brothers. So we're going to name them Cain and Abel, the chickens of the week, the 2 brothers who fought and fought and fought, showing us that we are not to do that, and we are called to live in harmony where there is no fighting. And for teaching us that lesson, we give gratitude to Cain and Abel. Congratulations for being the chickens of the week. And the violence that you hear behind me is not really violence. It's for the benefit of health and physical fitness. So anyway, with that, we're going to say goodbye, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you again next week. Bye. Say bye, Blake. Bye. Bye, everybody.